In this video, we will discuss WiiM's exciting line of audio products, from streamers to all-in-one streaming amplifiers that can power full speaker systems. We'll look at the WiiM Mini, WiiM Pro, WiiM Pro Plus, and the WiiM Amp to help you decide which one might be right for you. Now, all of these are available at audioadvice.com, where you'll get free shipping, expert support, and a price guarantee. Plus, all Audio Advice purchasers will receive our free tips and tricks setup guide, which is super easy to follow and will help you get up and running with the very best possible settings for your system. And before we begin, I also want to mention that WiiM has announced a WiiM Ultra Streamer and a WiiM Amp Pro coming very soon. I'll touch more on those later in this video, but if you want us to do a full review when they are released, leave a comment down below to let us know. Now, plus, you can actually pre-order right now at audioadvice.com to be among the very first to get the WiiM Ultra if you decide that's the best one for you. And if you're watching this video at a later date, it's likely these products are already out, so I'll make sure everything is linked in the description for you to check it out. All right, let's see what WiiM has to offer and if it lives up to the hype. Let's start by discussing arguably one of the most important aspects of a streamer, the app. It is well known in the music streaming world that the software experience is essential. You can have the highest hardware, flashiest design, and a brand with years of accolades, but if the control app is buggy or difficult to use, it will ruin the experience. When LinkPlay decided to start the WiiM brand, they knew their years of experience in software design would pay dividends. They wanted an app that would have all of the best music streaming services baked right in, as well as an easy to use and feature-rich control software for their devices. They knew this wasn't going to be an easy task since they were competing with some of the best in the industry, such as Sonos, Bluos, Hios, and other well-established brands with years of app development experience. However, they didn't let that deter them, and they've created a pretty solid app that lives up to the quality of some of the best out there. WiiM wanted an app containing all of the best streaming services and wouldn't require users to switch to different apps whenever they tried to switch music streaming services. The WiiM Home app has many top music streaming services, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Tidal, Amazon Music, Qobuz, Napster, Deezer, and more to come. However, Apple Music is missing for now on all of these devices. Along with all of the top music streaming services, the WiiM Home app has many settings and controls, including setting up alarms, synchronizing music to multiple devices, creating multiple personal routines, and a built-in equalizer that allows you to tailor the sound to your preferences. These features are also great as they allow users to control their WiiM streamer and use their favorite music streaming service without leaving the WiiM Home app. Now, the app also even features a universal search feature that allows you to search for music from multiple streaming services simultaneously. This level of software support and refinement is rare, especially in the price class of these WiiM devices. Starting with the WiiM product that started it all, the WiiM Mini has garnered much attention in the audio world, mainly because it offers so much functionality for the price. The fact that it's the size of a hockey puck also really helps. The WiiM Mini is only 2.7 inches across and 0.9 inches tall, making it one of the smallest streamers on the market. But don't let that small size fool you. The Mini is a full-scale streamer with capabilities that belie its small size. While most users will surely use the great app to control the Mini, there are also excellent soft touch controls on the top panel. Now, the WiiM Mini supports up to 24 bits, 192 kilohertz audio, and has a built-in TI-PCM5121 DAC chip to decode all of that audio. While this DAC is far from a flagship DAC, it will provide clean and clear audio for situations not requiring a top-end DAC solution. This internal DAC connects to your amplifier by way of the included 3.5mm to RCA adapter. A Toslink SPDIF connector allows users to connect the Mini to their DAC of choice. This option opens up the possibility of expanding the sound quality and use case for the Mini. There's also a 3.5mm aux input should you want to connect any other audio source to the Mini, but it is limited to 16-bit 48 kilohertz ADC conversion. Power is provided by a USB-C connected power supply that is both small and easy to connect. The WiiM Mini has built-in Apple AirPlay 2, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, DNLA ability, and gapless playback, which many music lovers insist on for accurate track transitions. positions. Bluetooth connectivity is included for convenience, allowing you to connect your phone or source without physical connections. But what makes the WiiM Mini special is its ability to almost disappear in a system while offering most of the functionality of full-scale streaming products. The small size gives it a scale and portability not offered in other products with these capabilities. Now, someone wanting to take the next step in performance and features needs to look at the WiiM Pro and Pro Plus. These units take the Mini's concept and add a newer, more capable quad-core processor and more memory to process the music streams and the app commands much faster. The Pro is a little larger at 5.5 inches in length and width and 1.5 inches tall. The soft touch controls have been moved from the top to the front panel on the Pro and Pro Plus, and they work great. Now, this larger size allows the WiiM Pro and Pro Plus to include full RCA jacks for input and output, allowing you to connect your connectors directly to the Pro without converting to 3.5 millimeters first. Also, along with the SPDIF Toslink output, there is an additional input to connect sources. Unlike the Mini and Pro, the Pro Plus version converts these analog inputs at up to 24-bit 192 kHz sampling for improved performance over the 16-bit 48 kHz standard conversion. WiiM also knew that the Pro and Pro Plus users would want more options for connecting these units to external higher quality DACs, so they also added a coax digital output, which is a great addition, knowing that while DACs in today's market have many connections, coax connections are almost always standard. While the WiiM Pro uses the same TI PCM5121 DAC chip that the Mini uses, the Pro Plus takes performance up a notch by upgrading to an AKM 4493 SEQ DAC. This upgraded chip takes a signal-to-noise ratio from 106 dB to a much improved 121 dB with lower distortion. These improvements allow the Pro Plus to be used in more revealing systems and environments where having a higher quality DAC will yield benefits. An Ethernet connection is one of the essential additional connections on the Pro and Pro Plus. Many experts say a wired connection to your network provides a better quality connection for better audio performance. The addition of Ethernet and coax digital connections should put the Pro and Pro Plus on about anyone's radar who is looking for excellent quality streaming and future expandability. If you already have a great quality DAC, the Pro and Pro Plus will allow you to test the waters of music streaming for a very low cost. Another feature of the Pro and Pro Plus is Roon-ready support. Roon users can quickly choose the Pro or Pro Plus from within Roon and use these units like the rest of their Roon system household. The ability is uncommon at these price points and gives these WiiM units their high value. This list here shows the added features that might make you choose the Pro or Pro Plus over the Mini. Now, moving on, the WiiM Amp is designed for people who want a simple-to-use, small, all-in-one streaming and amplifying device that takes the just add speakers approach and makes it affordable and high quality. Now, the WiiM Amp is 7.48 inches long and wide while only 2.48 inches tall. And for a full-featured amplified streaming device, this small size allows the WiiM Amp to fit into situations where most amplifiers are simply too large. The controls are on the front panel and include a volume and a multi-function button for control. Since the WiiM Amp is an all-in-one solution, it does not have the digital outputs that the other WiiM streamers do, as these outputs will not be needed for the designed use of the WiiM Amp. In its place are high-quality speaker binding posts and a crossover-controlled subwoofer output. Also, there is one RCA analog input for use with your external sources. There is a USB input for use with music on a flash drive and Toslink digital inputs too. Now, adding an HDMI ARC input is one of the WiiM Amp's most essential features. This input allows users to connect their smart TV to the WiiM Amp and control the volume with the television remote. This option is great because it will enable you to upgrade your television audio without the hassle of multiple remotes. But WiiM also has included a Bluetooth remote with the WiiM Amp. This remote gives you greater coverage than a traditional IR remote, allowing use from different angles and distances. It also has voice control, allowing you to simply speak and the remote will follow your commands. Now, the internal DAC section of the WiiM Amp has a good quality ESS Sabre 9018 K2M chip that offers an SNR of 98 dB and a total harmonic distortion plus noise of minus 92 dB at 0.002%. While not quite as good as the Pro Plus, this is respectable for an all-in-one device. The WiiM Amp's amplifier section uses the TI-TPA 3255 amplifier chip. This Class D chip specifies power output at 60 watts per channel at 8 ohms and 120 watts per channel at 4 ohms. This power level should have no problems powering most stand mount or high sensitivity speakers to room filling levels. Add a powered subwoofer in the included 30 to 200 Hz crossover controlled subwoofer output, and the WiiM Amp could be the centerpiece of a fine high value system. Now, as we mentioned at the very beginning, WiiM will also be introducing introducing the WiiM Ultra and WiiM Amp Pro very soon. And depending on when you watch this video, these products may already be out, so be sure to check the description to watch our reviews of those. Both of these new products will feature a 32-bit 384 kHz ES9038 Q2M Sabre DAC, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, and a auto-tuning feature. The WiiM Ultra will be a streamer that is similar in size to the current WiiM Amp and will feature a 3.5-inch touchscreen to show album artwork and other settings. It will also include a physical volume knob on the front and will be the only WiiM device with a phono input on the back. You can currently pre-order the WiiM Ultra at audioadvice.com to be among the first to get your hands on one. Now, the WiiM Amp Pro will have a few upgrades from the WiiM Amp, such as improved Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and a higher signal-to-noise ratio of 120 dB compared to 98 dB for the regular amp. Let us know in the comments if you want to see a full review of those pieces once we get our hands on them. Alright, these WiiM devices seem pretty great so far for the price, but how do they actually perform? Well, one of the things we noticed while testing the WiiM products was that using them was very easy and intuitive. Setup was as simple as hooking up the product and following the app's commands. While in use, we did not notice any hiccups or connection problems, which really impressed us. After confirming the stable functions of the WiiM products, we decided to concentrate on the sound of each product. Now remember, if you purchase from Audio Advice, you will get our exclusive tips and tricks setup guide to make sure you have all of these products set up perfectly. The WiiM Mini is an excellent entry-level product for music streaming. We connected it to one of our budget 2-channel systems using the included 3.5mm to RCA adapter. Listening to the Black Crowes' new album, Happiness Bastards, gave us a chance to hear what the Mini could do using its internal DAC. While the sound was clean and clear, allowing us to hear the fundamentals, the soundstage and imaging were not up to the standards that we are used to from much better DACs. Now, the tonal balance was good, with good bass and mid-range, while the treble seemed to have a little bit of glare and etch to it. This is to be expected though, as the DAC inside the WiiM Mini is a budget chip that just does not have the specs of some of those better DACs. Now, using the available Toslink output, we connected the Mini to one of our separate reference DACs, and these sound greatly improved, showing that the budget-priced Mini has growth potential. However, given the very low entry price, the WiiM Mini is still a great product that would fit into a low-budget entry-level system or a system where critical music listening is not the main priority. Now, moving on to the WiiM Pro and Pro Plus streamers, things get a little more musical here. With the same budget DAC as the Mini, the Pro is a more feature-rich version of the Mini. We liked the extra analog connections and thought the addition of an Ethernet connection improved the sound just a tiny bit, but we still think that the Pro is more geared towards budget systems. A separate quality DAC will be needed to get more out of it. With the addition of the AKM 4493 EQ DAC, the Pro Plus brings much better sound quality. Playing the same tracks through the Pro Plus allowed us to hear better instrument separation with much improved imaging and sound staging ability. The treble had much less glare and etch to it, allowing us to listen for much longer without fatigue. With its digital outputs, the Pro Plus still allows growth to better separate DACs and could be the base of a great streaming front end. However, if you're looking for a streamer or an all-in-one piece for a higher-end system, we would probably recommend that you should consider one from Eversolo, Bluesound, Hi-Fi Rose, Marantz, NED, or even Sonos. Don't get us wrong, the WiiM Pro and Pro Plus are great for the money, but it may be worth calling or chatting with one of our experts at audioadvice.com to see which brand is going to work best for you and your system. The WiiM Amp is a product that fits a certain use case. We tested it with some fairly easy to drive and lower price stand mount speakers, as this is where we see this amp probably being used. The WiiM Amp delivered good power and drove higher sensitivity speakers well, but we would not recommend it for most tower speakers or larger, harder to fill rooms. The power amplifier section in the WiiM Amp is a Class D design based on a TI chip and has its limitations. Playing the Black Crowes tracks, we liked the clean and clear output of the WiiM Amp and thought it had good tonal balance. The bass was tight and went low enough to give the music a good flow. The mid-range was detailed and clean, and so was the treble response. We did hear a hint of treble glare and edginess on some harder hitting tracks with cymbals and treble energy. The soundstage and imaging were decent, but this showed us that we were really listening to a budget component. Now, if you are looking for an amplifier to power less sensitive speakers or want one that will show you the great soundstage of your system, then you should look at some of our better amplifiers, which I will link in the description below. But we do recommend the WiiM Amp for some use cases where regular size components just won't fit, or when critical listening is not a main concern. Now, after spending time with the WiiM streaming products, we were impressed by the ease of use and quality of this software experience. We also appreciated having an included app that does everything and doesn't require switching apps to stream from our favorite streaming service. The sound quality of each unit is good, and it represents a value at their respective price points. Yes, there are better sounding streaming products from brands like Blue Sound and Hi-Fi Rose, but they are much more costlier. The WiiM products will do multi-room audio, but if that is the use case, there are also other products to consider, like brands from Sonos and Blue Sound as well. But if you are looking for a low-cost streaming option for a budget system or have a great DAC and want to test the streaming waters, the WiiM products represent a quality option. We recommend the WiiM streaming products and think they would be a good fit for budget-minded music lovers. If you are wondering if the WiiM music streamers are right for you, please just give us a call or chat with us at audioadvice.com, and our experts would be happy to help you out. If you have further questions, contact our experts via chat, phone, or email, or simply visit one of our world-class showrooms where you can experience turntables, speakers, projectors, TVs, and everything in between for yourself before you make a purchase. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.